Good afternoon. Today we are solving inequalities using addition and subtraction. So for those of you who don't recall, an inequality is an equation that has a less than or greater than symbol. So we're going to start by looking at what do these equations or inequalities mean. So first, when we read an inequality, we always have to have the variable on the left-hand side, like we read a sentence from left to right. So this one says x, like an L means less than, x is less than 8. So that right there, L means less than. So how do I graph this? Well, on a number line, I'm just going to put 8 in the middle. And this number here has to be anything less than 8. So all the numbers that are less than 8 are to the left. So we're not including 8. We are just doing everything to the left of that. So what we're going to do is what's called an open circle. So it shows that we're starting at 8, but we're not including that number. And we're pointing to all the numbers to the left. So we don't need to list out all the numbers that are less than 8 because we could be here forever. Just pointing to the left. Same thing, except the opposite for greater than. So over here we have A is greater than 3. If it doesn't make an L, the opposite of less than would be greater than. So I'm going to put 3 on my number line. If you want to put a number on either side to help, that's fine. So this is also an open circle because we want all the numbers that are greater than 3, not 3. And all the numbers that are greater than 3 are to the right. Easy way to tell which way our arrow is pointing is to put a line in the symbol. It forms an arrow pointing to the right. This way makes an arrow pointing to the left. So down here we have the exact same thing, except we have the equal to. So this symbol means less than or equal to. So here we have the number 4. So we want all the numbers that are less than 4 or equal to 4. So we're going to do what's called a closed circle because we could be exactly at 4. That's the equal to part. So here's the equal to, and then the less than is kind of just attached to it. So it shows both. And less than is now all the numbers to the left. Closed circle, pointing left. Again, that symbol less than, if you put a line through it, you make an arrow pointing to the left. And then our last symbol, same thing is right above it. This means greater than, or the line underneath means equal to. So because we have the equal to, we are going to have a closed circle, meaning we could be exactly at 12, or any number greater than 12, pointing to the right. Again, that symbol, if you put a line through it in the middle, forms an arrow pointing to the right. So what numbers are greater than or equal to 12? Well, 12 or to the right, 13, 14, 15, and so on. So these first couple we are going to graph. Then on the back side we're going to solve some one-step equations using less than and greater than symbols. So here we have f is less than 19. So put a 19 on the number line. I would suggest putting at least one number on either side. We're going to have an open circle because there's no equal to, and less than points to the left. So we have all the numbers straight to the left. I put my arrow a little bit above the number line because if it's right on it with your pencil, it's hard to see. That is it. Next one, this one I have a little star by because our letter is not on the left. Remember, we need our variable on the left-hand side. Our letter is now on the right side. So we need to rewrite this or take the whole thing and flip-flop it. So if I flip-flop it, h and 1.2, we also need to flip the symbol because right now our alligator or our symbol is eating the H, so if we flip it around, it still needs to eat the H. And we have the equal to. So if we're flipping the equation around, we also are flipping the symbol to keep it reading the same way. So we have the number 1.2 on here. I'm just going to put 1.1 and 1.3. And we have a closed circle because of the equal to underneath. And this is no longer an L for less than. When we flipped it, it became greater than. So all the numbers that are greater than 12 are to the right. Again, you can put an arrow in here to point that arrow to the right. Same thing with this next one. We need the letter on the left, so we need to flip-flop these around. G, -6, and the alligator's eating the -6, so it still needs to be when we flip it around. So we have number -6. 0 would be over here to the right, so going to the right we have -5, and on the other side, -7. So we have an open circle, there's no equal to, we're just less than -6, and less than is going to be to the left. This next one, the letter is on the left, so we can graph it right away. There's -4, -3. On the other side, we'd have -5. We do have the equal to symbol, so we are closed circle could be exactly -4, or anything greater than -4. We have this symbol pointing to the right. Anything greater than is to the right. Positive or bigger numbers are to the right. Now this next one, this is just an equation. There are going to be a couple of these in your homework where you're just solving an equation and graphing your answer. So here, to get rid of the +4, we subtract 4. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. +4 and -4 make 0, so we just have x equals 7 minus 4 is 3. So if I put 3 on my number line, my answer is only 3. So we have a closed circle, but there's just no arrow. It's just a dot because my answer is only 3. It's not less than or greater than 3, just 3. So here's the same thing, but it's an inequality. We solve it the same way. Pretend for now that this is an equal sign. We would subtract 4 on both sides. And we get x is less than 7 minus 4 is 3. But now we have the open circle because we're not equal to 3, just like an L, less than or anything to the left. So draw your arrow to the left. So we're going to be solving more equations like this on the back side and graphing our answers. So here on the top we have a little refresher for our open circles and our closed circles. Closed meaning it's a filled-in circle. Open just meaning it's an open circle. It says solve, then graph the following inequalities. So I'm going to draw my line down. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So those eliminate, and we have x is greater than or equal to. Remember, same sign, add and keep. That's a -26. 0 would be over here to the right, so going this way would be -25. Over here, -27. And we have the equal to there, so we have a closed circle at -26. And greater than symbol, it does not make an L for less than. It makes the other direction, which is greater than or to the right. Bigger numbers are to the right. Alright, next one. Draw our line down to solve. To get x by itself, I'm going to add 9 to both sides. So we have x, the symbol, and then -14 plus 9, there's more negatives. There are 5 more negatives. Now this looks like a good inequality, however, our letter is not on the left, so we can't graph it. We need to flip-flop these two around. So we have x, -5, and right now our alligator is eating the -5, so it still needs to when we graph it. So we have -5. This is going to be an open circle, there's no equal to. And then less than is to the left, like -6 and -7. It's like less money in your pocket, right? If you owe someone. All right, last one on this slide. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. 3 minus 3 is 0. So we have m is less than or equal to. Now be careful. If you put 8.7, that's wrong. You need to line up your decimals. This is really 3 point nothing. So we have the 0.4 and 8 plus 3 is 11. So our answer is 11.4. And our letter's on the left, so we can graph this. It's a closed circle, because we could be exactly at 11.4. Or m could be anything less than that, like 11.3, which is to the left. Last problem. This is a word problem, so be careful. It says you received a $25 gift card to a sporting goods store for your birthday. You're looking at a basketball and you want to spend no more than $15 of your own money. Write and solve an inequality to find the price of a basketball you can buy. What is the most expensive basketball you can buy? So, you want to spend no more than $15. So, what we could do is say, hey, our basketball has to be less than or equal to $25. Oh, no, not 25. Less than or equal to $15. No more than $15. So those keywords there, no more than, means you have to spend less than that. Okay? But we also have a $25 gift card. So we need to apply that $25 gift card to our equation. Put that in there. So you're putting the $25 gift card with the basketball. So our basketball, whatever that costs, however many dollars that is, you're really going to have $25 extra, or in addition, that you can spend. A lot of you are going to want to put plus 25, but that's wrong, because you're not going to add $25 to your basketball. When you have a gift card, you're really taking off $25. So your basketball minus $25 has to be less than or equal to 15. So your basketball minus the gift card has to be less than or equal to $15. So we just want to solve this now. You don't really need to write that. So opposite of subtracting 25 is adding 25. I'm struggling here. Why is it going away? 25. So those eliminate, and our basketball has to be anywhere less than or equal to $40. So it says, what's the most expensive basketball that you can buy? Well, $40 is the most expensive because you also have your gift card. So when you take the $25 off, you're only spending $15 of your own money. That's a good way to check to see if you did this right. So that's the most expensive one you can buy. Your homework is worksheet 6.1, which is solving inequalities. Some of them are already there for you to graph, but make sure you have the letter on the left, like you're going to have to flip this one and this one around because they're backwards. Okay? Otherwise, the rest, draw your line down, solve,